So now that we have already understand and learn about how we can insert a data into database, it's time to understand how we can retrieve data from a database. And retrieving data from the database in SQL or MySQL is called selecting. So how can we select data from a database? If you wanted to select data from a database, you're going to use the select query. And after that, if you want everything from the database, you have to put the stars here, which in a database called static. And after that, use the from keyword, and from keyword is going to point out to the table that you wanted to retrieve its data. So our table name was user. So how it's understand that which database we wanted to retrieve its data. Here we declare the database already. So I should mention that you should start WAMP or XAMPP in your computer. I told you about how you can start WAMP or XAMPP. So make sure to start that. And after that you put this, you have to save this file. And after I save this file, I'm going to go here and type a node. I actually ran this node application. I press enter. After I press enter, it's going to return me 4 object, and actually they are not object, they are object, but these objects are inside an array. And as you see here, we have these values. So but what if we wanted to just return the first name and last name column? So how can we do that? Replace of static here came and say and mention the columns that you wanted to retrieve or get its data. So for example, we only want to get the first name. So now if I save it and run this node application again, so I'm going to say node, actually node index.js, and after that here we get the first name, only the first name. You saw before that we have the ID, the first name, and the last name. Okay, so here if you notice, these are in an array, and if as you know, we can easily retrieve data or get the array element if you wanted to. So for example, we wanted to get a value of the first name. Actually wanted to get the first elements of this array. So how can I do that? Here I'm gonna come and open up the brackets and want to get the second one. With the second one in the database is with the index of 1. So now if I save it and go to the browser, actually let me get over of this and put the static again, save it, and go to the terminal, run this node application. Here what we get is connected, and what we retrieve is just only the second elements of this array, which that array elements are objects. As you see that whenever you saw the brackets, that means that it's an object. So for example, from here we only want to get the first name. How can we do that? Here I'm gonna come, and if you wanted to access the first name, so you normally just pass the first name here. So now if I save it, guess what will happen? Of course we will get the first name value, which is value is Alex. Now again, come here and run this node application. Oh sorry, node index.js, and here we get connected, which is from this console that inform us that we get that we are connected to the database. And after that we get the value of the second element of the array, which is the value of the first name. Here is Alex. We also have third parameter here, which are normally called fields. So what fields is going to do for us? I don't explain it. Let me first pass here, and after that I will explain it. So I'm going to pass here fields, and now run this node application again. So I'm going to say, you don't have to type node, just press arrow key. It's going to propose you or bring you the latest code, or the latest code that you wrote in the terminal. So I'm going to press enter, and here we get some information. These information all are about the database, and as you see, it's telling me the database name, the table name, its length, and flags. We don't have any flags, and so on. So for example, we wanted to get um, the database name here. So how can we do that? Here from the fields, we wanted to get the table name. So for example, here I'm going to pass the table. As you see there, we had a parameter or a property that refer to the table. After this, here we have, and it's going to refer to the table. So I'm going to come here and pass the table here. So run this node application again. So I'm going to say node index.js, and here what we get is some values because I didn't save this. Sorry for that. And here I'm going to cancel this and run this node application again. We get connected but undefined. What's the problem here? Because we didn't mention which column table name, which array element table name you want to get. So for example, we wanted to get the first array elements, and it's a table name. So now again come and run this node application. What we get is here connected, and from the second elements of the array, from the first actually, sorry, from the second from the first array element, we get its table name, which is its table name is user. So this was from the selecting data from the database, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Take care. Bye.